Hello and welcome to Men of the Den. My name's Eric and it's Friday. So this week is question and answer week, and you guys have submitted a lot of really great questions. So let's hear them. Matthew asks, what are your biggest fears? My biggest fear is that thing that's lurking in the darkness. I think we all know kind of about that trope, that there's something just out there, just on the edge of sight, and when you shut out the lights, it's coming into the room. It's gonna get up next to you. It's gonna get up into the bed with you, and it's gonna grab a hold of you. Yeah, that's the fear that I have. Kevin asks, what is your favorite horror movie / first horror movie? What was the first horror movie I ever saw? Okay, this is a great story. I was 4 years old. We were living in this apartment building, and we had cable television. It was a box that had like all these push buttons on it, and like a dial that you had to turn between channels. It was really, really something else. And my parents had some friends over one night. I woke up in the middle of the night. I'd heard something. I came out into the living room, and I looked at what they were watching on the television, and I saw this baby leap up at this doctor that was holding it in its arms and like tear his throat out, and blood was spurting everywhere. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And I later found out that movie was called It's Alive. So yeah, that was my first horror movie that I was exposed to at the tender age of 4. Everyone laughed, thought it was hilarious, and I was pissing myself in fear. And I grew to love horror movies despite that initial terrible experience. Christian asks, who is your celebrity hall pass? Well, being in an open poly relationship, I kind of have an all access card, so there is no list. I don't have a list. Anybody who is down for it and that I'm down for it is fair game. So, yeah, carte blanche. Nate asks, how can you tell if you are a cub, pup, or bear? As I would like to know what I am. Am I a cub or a pup? What I've seen from the cub guys is that the cub guys are basically just like bear guys. They tend to be shorter, hairy, kind of, maybe more submissive, maybe not, it just depends on the guy. But shorter, hairier, boo bear-ish, whereas the pup guys are, I don't know, they're more like, a lot of them I've seen are a lot more like lean, trim, kind of like up from twink, I guess. But they have that doggy demeanor. And it's hard to describe that, but like how excitable like small dogs get, like chihuahuas and terriers, and they get really excited about things and they jump all over you and they like to play. That's kind of the pup persona. That's probably generalizing, but I think that that's kind of it. Nicholas asks, I want to talk to my husband about possibly opening up our relationship for a regular toy friend. Do you have any suggestions, tips, or experiences that you'd share on this topic? I have done many videos in my stream on this channel about the fact that I'm in an open, potentially polyamorous relationship. So you can go back through those videos. If I have time, I will add links in the description. I'm going to recommend a book. I've recommended it before. It's called Opening Up by Tristan Taormino. I'm going to put a link to that down in the crotch. I would highly suggest that you take a look at that book. It's really the most comprehensive thing I've ever seen about having an open relationship, and it's full of really great personal stories, research, and the different kinds of levels and expectations that you would want to set when having those kinds of conversations, especially just starting out for the first time. So it's called Opening Up. It's by Tristan Taormino. She's a sex educator, and she's a brilliant person, and that is an amazing book. So go check that out. Jake also asks, what was your first live performance that you went to? I was raised in a musical family, and so my father performed in public a lot. I saw him perform at public festivals and fairs, and I think occasionally I was taken to like a club or something, winery, where they performed the Veterans Forum Warsaw VFW Hall. I've been to all of those shows. I think I saw my father perform probably dozens and dozens and dozens of times in front of a live audience, and that was great. But in terms of like radio bands, people that like much more popular than my dad's cover band, I saw Jimmy Buffett. Jake also asks, do you take sugar with 1 lump or 2? I take 3. Dire asks, describe the other Den Boys in 1 word. Okay, here we go. Derek and Greg, I'm doing them together, are hilarious. Dr. Phil is busy. Super busy. Aaron is dedicated. Greg is a playa. And Spencer is posh. So there you go. Thank you very much for submitting those questions. A lot of love goes out to all the folks who did that. If you have more questions for me or for any of the other guys, feel free to leave your comments and questions down in the crotch. If you have questions about any of the answers that I had, like put those down in there. And if you want to see any of the things that I talked about, like the book recommendations, the movie recommendations, I'm going to put links to those down in the crotch. Check the crotch. That's where the goods are. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. And I will see you all next Friday. Cheers!